And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. So today, actually, I have my good friend Don from the Multiverse of Geekdom. We're going to be talking about Publisher Perish. This is actually part of a Hollyshorts Film Festival pick, so I can't wait to dive into this movie. It's a dark comedy. We'll get into a little bit as far as what the plot is about. So let's go on ahead. Let's talk about this. Hey, Don. How are you?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And I just want to get into a little bit of what the synopsis of the film is actually about.
Mm-hmm.
So, Publisher Perish is the award-winning festival darling independent dark comedy film will be released nationwide in the U.S. on demand on Amazon and Vudu and cable on August 18th. So, if you guys are wondering where you guys can get this, it'll be available on those platforms on August 18th. But Publisher Perish actually tells the story of a professor obsessed with getting his tenure who accidentally kills a student and covers it up, causing his life to spiral out of control. So that's a little bit of a briefing of what it's about.
He is definitely obsessed with tenure. That is definitely portrayed in the film, I will say.
Right? I definitely have to say I did find myself laughing at the dark moments within this movie itself. It definitely does have that dark humor kind of vibe to it. So if you're into films that are not in the dark humor category or anything like that, I don't recommend you guys checking this out. But for someone like me who is used to dark humor within like The Sopranos or The Godfather and Goodfellas, this is for you.
I agree. I would definitely agree with that. Yeah, it's definitely a dark comedy. It's definitely pretty, and again, it's the way it's played out is very funny. It's very funny the way everything sort of plays out throughout the movie. So
definitely. So
I don't want to say anything too much because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah.
Well, I'm just going to talk about some of the stuff that I liked about the film and stuff like that too, and you can also go off of me as well. But I thought the main character is connected with his tenure to the point where he's a douche.
Yeah.
Because in his mind, he sees himself as the hero. He sees himself as the one who wants to support his family, wants to try and do this tenure, but his own ego is getting the best of him, though, too. To the point where that's all he cares about. He doesn't care how he does it as long as he gets his tenure.
It sort of blinds him, and he just kind of makes one horrible decision after another. Just absolute horrible decision after another, which is pretty fun to watch. It is fun to watch.
It definitely is. And it keeps you, I'm going to say this. This movie definitely keeps you on your toes. It keeps you wondering what this teacher is going to do because of the fact that, he winds up being obsessed with it. But he accidentally kills a student, and then you're wondering, okay, so how is he going to get out of this predicament that he's in? And the certain situations within that element, too, you're wondering, okay, how is he going to dispose of a body? And this actually shows how a normal human being would dispose of a body without even thinking about anything either. Because, he goes over to the hardware store. He doesn't even get trash bags or anything. He's also very lanky and tall, and he can't even carry this body into the back of his car either. So he has a hard time carrying the body and stuff like that. And he buys a shovel. He doesn't even use a credit card or anything like that. He uses cash, so therefore there won't be a paper trail other than the receipt.
But keeps the receipt in his wallet, which I thought was funny. I like that part. I just thought that was funny.
I like how the guy's over there recommending what kind of shovel that he would get or give him and everything. He goes, I would get the titanium shovel. Okay, not a problem. Yeah, they're in the back over there if you want it. So, and then
I love how he just. There's a lot of good lines. That's actually one of the funnier scenes, I would say, in the movie. Not one of the funnier scenes, but it's a very funny scene. The back and forth with him and the guy at the register at the hardware store is really funny. It's actually really funny stuff.
It definitely is, because it is also like a small town kind of vibe to it too, to the point where there's this one customer that just keeps coming in there to get a shovel, and then there's that back and forth banter between the two of them, and then you also meet the daughter's boyfriend too, and the boyfriend is also a director, writer, and also the daughter is also part of that group too, where she's passionate about her.
Another weird storyline that is just throughout the movie that is crazy.
But the main character is named Jim, and he's on probation to prove what he's worth. 7 years passes as he's writing the book. So that's also another thing I want to mention is they do show you how long time has gone by.
Yeah.
And I thought they set that up very well. It's like, okay, well, guess what, man? You're going to be on probation for 7 years to prove your tenure. And then from there, you're going to, well, see what you have, because most people who reaches their tenure winds up not even writing anything. And so they're judging him based on his work and not on his worth. And, basically they choose whether or not he gets his tenure or not. So finally it's 7 years, and he finally that's basically where they wind up trying to make the decision. But I also want to mention this. I thought the chemistry between Jim and Allison, which is his wife, is great. I thought the chemistry between them was really funny.
I got a lot of Laura Dern vibes from her.
Really? I didn't expect that. Okay.
Just sort of, just the way she was at, mannerisms, just different things. And not that she was copying her or anything, but just the way, she sort of comes off. I sort of got that Jurassic Park Laura Dern feel from her. So
yeah, I got that too. Yeah. Because you know why I like that so much, though, too? I think you need a character like her to be able to go back and forth with a character like this.
Mm-hmm.
And
because she has to go toe to toe with him the whole movie. She's not like a silent in the back type character. She's out in the open. So her performance is really well. I think she does
right.
Really well.
And what I like about her character, like you said, she's right out in the open, right? So what I liked about this was the fact that she's not really a quiet wife. She's not a housewife or anything like that. She's very supportive of Jim. She's there for him. She jokes around with him. That little drawing that he has of teacher's pet, where basically it's supposed to be her having sex with him on the desk. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. No. Again, the storytelling was I thought done really well throughout the whole movie. I think the way they connect things, like you said, with the teacher's pet picture, how that comes to play later, and things like that. Yeah, I think the way the story was written is actually done really well. It's paced really well too. I like the pacing of the movie. I really felt like we never got bogged down in a moment or in a scene or in something that's happening. Everything kind of flows and keeps moving. So I did like that.
Right. I didn't feel the hour and 42-minute marker either. I thought it was very smooth, like you said. I also thought that everything that they put into the movie is there for a reason. It's not just there for filler. And it actually adds to the story. And you're just wondering what Jim is going to do next and how he's going to screw things up with his own career and things like that too, which he winds up screwing it up majorly, but we're not going to get into any kind of spoilers with that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I kind of get, do you know who he reminds me of? I don't know why. He kind of reminds me of Saul, Better Call Saul. What's his name? Nobody.
Yeah, the Nobody. I know who you're talking about. Saul Goodman. He reminds me of that character.
What's his name in real life? The actor. I can't remember.
I can't remember his actor.
But he was in that movie Nobody. Odenkirk, Bob Odenkirk.
Yep,
he kind of has that sort of feel to him, like just an everyday guy, but he's going through this insane insanity of like a day and or a couple days, I guess I should say, but still, like just insane. But he's just this normal guy, and he's trying to figure it out, but he can't. He just can't figure it out.
Because so I'm just gonna say this: he accidentally runs over a student of his named Derek. And he accidentally runs him over because he's backing out of the parking garage, and he's like. And he's supposed to be over meeting the people who are supposed to be judging him for his tenure, like the dean, which is his name is Dick. And so he's like, well, shit, I don't know what else to do. So he puts him in the back of the trunk. He goes, it's going to be okay, Derek. It's going to be okay. Just bear with me, I promise. So while he's in his meeting trying to get his tenure done and trying to rush back downstairs to rush him to the hospital, Derek winds up flatlining. And this is actually where now, this is something that reminds me of American Werewolf in London because of the fact that you have Derek, who's dead, who's talking to him, and he's all bloody and everything. Goes, really? Was it worth it? Was it worth killing me? He goes, and he's like, what about my family? What about what they think? Because it was all about him and his tenure. He goes, what about what I think? I like that line because of the fact that he's not thinking about anybody else or anything.
No, definitely not at that moment. No. Yeah, I mean, it's The only thing about that's weird, that I thought that was going to play into the plot more, that why he was in the parking garage.
Well, I think it was
Towards
just
the end.
I thought it was just this. I just thought it was just students in a parking garage trying to get to their cars.
But there's nobody else in that. That garage is completely empty. Completely. There's not even another car in there. It's weird. It's weird that he's just randomly behind him. I thought more there was going to be somebody that was like pushed him in front, or I thought that was going to kind of be the twist towards the end, maybe, and it never came. Which kind of I was like, okay, so I think what this movie does do very well though is it keeps you guessing what the hell is going to happen, because every time you're like, okay, I kind of figure out where this is going. It's not going there. It's not going to end there where you think it's going at all. It's just not. And I mean, there's some decisions he makes later in the movie with the dean and some things he decides to do, which are just, I mean,
he definitely crosses the line in one of these scenes. I don't know if I could actually do that to somebody that I love and care about.
No way. There is nothing in the world that can make me do that. Cross that line, dude. That's a line. Oh. Yeah, it surprised me. But I can also see the desperation in it. I can see, so yeah. I mean, it's a wild ride. But specifically that scene, I like that scene because I like where he's like, "You're not even going to try to see if I'm alive still. You're not going to check.
You're not even going to check my pulse."
He's like, "It's too late. It's too late. It's over." He's just freaking out.
His mind is already made up at this point. He's I got to go down to the hardware store.
Yeah. Oh, he's in complete panic mode. He's in complete panic mode at this point. Yeah, for sure.
Another thing I want to mention is this. You also have Mia, who's in this, who's actually blackmailing him in this movie too.
Yeah.
Because she wanted an extension. She's not a very good student. And I'm just going to say this. I think the director, you can tell where his passions are, where he got certain ideas. Because I think he's a Basic Instinct fan. Because of the whole legs crossing, trying to seduce the teacher. And he's also a doctor.
Yeah, I definitely got that vibe. Yeah, it definitely gave off that vibe in that scene for sure. The classroom scene. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that's where he got some of his humor from. And I like it. I like the fact that it's like maybe a little bit of a tip of the hat to other movies that he might have inspired him. So that's something I really like.
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Then the elevator
was this
scene,
his first movie, by the way? Is this his first movie?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me pull up.
I was just curious. I just honestly don't know. So,
to be honest with you, he's actually.
Is his first directed movie? I guess that would be the better question.
Believe it or not, the film took home Best Picture at the Crystal Palace International Film Festival in the UK, Best Featured Director, Best Actor at Bayford International Film Festival, Best Comedy at the Sedona International Film Festival as well. So that's pretty impressive.
Oh, I definitely believe it.
Oh, okay.
Believe it. Yeah.
Okay. He's an Emmy Award-winning director.
Okay.
His name is David Lieben.
Okay. Yeah. I like his style. I definitely like his style. I'd like to see more from him. I'd like to see other stuff that he's done. Because I think he's interesting. I definitely think he's an interesting person.
I think so too. I love his style and his direction. I like how he paints his scene though, especially whenever we actually have the main character going over and trying to bury Derek.
Yeah.
And then you also have this other thing too, where it's like, oh shit, I need to cover up the tracks in the snow. So he winds up covering it up. Then he winds up buying 4 sets of new tires.
Oh my God. Yeah. Again, just the worst decisions over and over and over again, man. It's so funny. It's so fun. It is, because you're just like, I understand, but I don't understand what you're doing right now. Like, I have no idea what you're doing right now.
Then, we actually have another thing that winds up happening with the dean. The dean is a total douche. I'm just going to say that. Because of the fact he didn't even back Derek up on anything, on the things that were presented to him at all. And I thought that he would at least have his back.
Him on that one. I actually agreed with him on that. Because it's like, I've been here for 7 years and you've never had anything from me before, and just randomly this person says that and you just take their side. That was kind of weird. I will admit that. Like, I thought that was a little weird for him to just kind of take her side over him right away. But again, at that moment, they're sort of in this feud, so it's kind of weird. It's weird.
It definitely is. And then, of course, you have the detective investigating him. He also winds up taking some of the. Oh, hey, Jamie, how are you? Thank you. But yeah, he winds up taking Dick's painting off the wall, the picture. He goes, "What is that?" He goes, "It's dirt."
Yeah.
And he goes, "It's horrible. It's hideous." He's just trying to bring him down to his own level because of the fact that Dick winded up just lowballing him about how much his book sucks.
Yeah, that conversation, the detective I thought was okay. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. He was okay. But that conversation in particular, I loved because the whole time that detective is just like, are you gonna answer my question? Like, stop talking about the damn painting and dirt, dude. Like, I just love that he keeps looking around. Like, is anybody else seeing this stupidity?
Right.
I think he's actually really funny in that moment or in that conversation. The detective.
I think so
really
too.
funny.
I think the moments of the awkwardness actually works in this movie though too, because especially when certain things happen, there's always a student around.
Yeah.
As well. So I thought that was actually funny.
Yeah. Yeah, because it feels like, you're playing it out in a college. I mean, it does, and there's not 1,000 students running around, but there's people, you see people, as they're doing different things. So yeah, I agree with that. And oh man, when he gets attacked, but I do feel like there would be a little more people than that around, right? Or is that in like an administrative area? That might be like an administrative area, maybe where like just the kind of the teachers' offices are, maybe something like that. So maybe, but it was funny. It was a funny moment.
But yeah, I think that is something that that might be just private offices for the teachers, and stuff like that too, which makes sense why students are not there that much either. But when they are there, it's always something awkward that takes place within those offices, especially when it's dealing with Jim.
Dude, if you went to that college, you would not go anywhere near that teacher or dean. Like as a student, you would be like, "Yeah, stay away from them. They're weird. Like they're both weird people."
The only two characters that are redeemable and actually someone that you would root for is actually the daughter, and you would vote. Not only that, but you would also root for the wife though too. Those are the only two.
Yeah. I root for Emily because I think she's just innocent.
Yeah, she's innocent.
Emily's innocent. She's just a secretary that's just, trying to keep her job by banging the boss. So I don't blame her either.
You know what? I actually got Harvey Weinstein vibes from the dean.
No, I didn't get like that. I just feel like she was just like trying to keep her job, basically. Not keep her job,
That's
but like
basically what Harvey Weinstein would make someone do, though.
Yeah, but I never got that he was forcing it vibe, though. Do you know what I mean? Like that's all I mean by that. Like he wasn't.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, that's all. Like he wasn't being like super creepy, probably about it. It just was like one of them. I don't know. Who knows? I just think she's innocent in all of it.
Right, that's true. We do get that one scene where basically he winds up taking pictures, where Jim's taking pictures of them. So yeah. But yeah, that's everything that I wanted to talk about as far as this. This is a non-spoiler review, so it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah, there's a lot of twist guys in this movie that happened. We didn't touch really any of the spoiler parts, so everything we talked about is sort of just the surface level. So I agree with that.
Yeah, we definitely just scratched the surface just a little bit to give you a little bit of a nugget. This is actually going to be releasing, of course, like I said, August 18th. This is also going to be on Amazon, Vudu, and wherever you guys stream your movies and everything from. I definitely recommend that you guys check this out. This is only an hour and 42-minute movie, or hour 50-minute movie, and you don't even feel the runtime like Don and I said. This is perfectly well executed, perfectly well acted and crafted.
Yeah. And I would definitely agree with that. I think it's definitely worth a watch. It's definitely something I would probably actually watch again, just because I know there's probably stuff I missed. So I would probably watch it again. I do think it was a good enough watch to watch again. So
I think so too. I'm probably gonna try to rewatch it again and maybe do a spoiler review on it later on or something.
Sure. Yeah, I'd be down for that, man.
All right. Well, that's everything as far as this goes. But guess what? We're actually going to have David with us coming up soon, and the director of published.
And he's the main actor, right? The director is the main actor, or no? It's a different person.
It's just a different person.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Okay.
But yeah, David Libin is actually going to be with us, and that's going to be taking place at August 3rd, 9:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 10:00 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
I have questions.
I do too. I can't wait to dive into what inspired him, what got him into doing this kind of dark humor and stuff like that. I've really enjoyed it. I'm glad that we were able to review this movie. This is really great. Thank you, Theo, from the Hollyshorts Film Festival, for bringing this to my attention and being able to review this movie. But yeah, that's going to be it as far as this review goes. Please go on ahead, click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And always until next time, guys, have a great and safe night, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.